You have been giving praise the wrong way your entire life. You are beautiful. You look amazing. You are so hot. These words sound nice and safe, maybe even comforting. But here's the real question. If she has heard that same line 1,000 times from men she barely remembers, why would hearing it from you make her remember you? It won't. Real attraction does not happen when she simply feels good about herself. It happens when she feels mentally exposed, emotionally uncovered, and sometimes even physically aware. That takes a very different kind of praise. It is the kind that slips past her defenses. It is the kind that makes her feel truly noticed in ways she never expected. This is the kind that stays with her long after you are gone. This is not about throwing out empty words. It is about influence. The top 3 forbidden compliments you are about to hear work because they are risky, not because they are gentle. We share hard truths daily for men who are tired of being predictable and forgettable. If you are ready to go deeper and understand this on a level most men never reach, there are tools that help you become unforgettable. Now let us get into what you should stop saying and what to say instead. If you want her thoughts racing and her body leaning towards you, you have probably said it countless times. You are beautiful. It feels normal, right? It seems polite and respectful. But here is the blunt reality. It does not work the way you think it does. She has heard it from men sliding into her messages, from strangers passing by, and from people she never gave a second thought to. It is expected and generic. Most importantly, it does not move her. It stays on the surface, and surface-level words never create real attraction. When you tell a woman she is beautiful, you are just repeating what her reflection already told her. You are not adding anything new or creating surprise. You are not triggering curiosity. Attraction is not about confirming the obvious. Yes, looks matter, but praising her the same way every other man does not raise your value. It blends you into the background. What actually lands is telling her what her presence does to you. Instead of saying she is beautiful, try something like this. There is something dangerous about the way you look at me. Notice the shift now. It is not just admiration. It is tension and shared energy. It is a moment the two of you are in together. You are suggesting desire without being crude. You are activating her imagination instead of stating a fact she already knows. Or say this, I cannot tell if you are a mystery I want to solve or a situation I want to disappear into. That is not really about her face or her body. It is about your experience of her. That is where the impact lives. Here is the psychological truth most men miss. Women do not become interested because someone told them they are attractive. They become interested when they feel desired in a way that feels specific, intentional, and brave. They want to feel seen beyond the obvious. If you want to push even deeper, reverse the usual direction of praise. Try this. You carry your beauty like it does not even matter to you. That is rare. Now, you are not just noticing how she looks, you are noticing how she holds it. You are seeing past the styling and the presentation. You are acknowledging something internal. That is where praise gains real power. It is not when you applaud what everyone sees, but when you name what most people overlook. There are 3 general types of compliments. First are the safe ones. You are beautiful, you look nice, that outfit suits you. They are fine, but they fade into background noise. Second are seductive compliments. There is something about how you move. The way you just looked at me did something. These create anticipation and tension. Third are mental compliments. You make me lose my train of thought. You act like you already know how this ends. These get inside her head and stay there. When you stop repeating that she is beautiful and start expressing your experience of her, you stand out instantly. Most men are either afraid to speak that honestly or never even consider it. You are learning how to speak to instinct, not just ears. Here is the difference between strength and weakness. You do not say these things to get a reaction. You say them because they are true and because you are calm enough to say what others suppress. That confidence is what connects and lingers. Have you ever said something that made her pause, look at you just a little longer, and smile like she suddenly knew something you did not? If you have, you already understand the power of saying less but meaning more. If you have not, that changes now. What you say next does not just matter. It creates an atmosphere she either wants to return to or forgets completely. The next kind of compliment is one most men would not dare voice, but once you do, everything else fades out. Most compliments land in only one place. Either they hit the body, like saying she looks sexy in a dress, or they aim for the mind, like saying she is smart. Rarely do they touch both at the same time. That is why so many men lose before anything even begins. A woman does not just want to feel wanted. She wants to feel understood and desired at the same time. That combination is what excites her and gets under her skin. What does that sound like in real life? Try this. You move like you know exactly what you are doing, and I would be lying if I said I was not thinking about it. The first part is observation. It shows awareness and engages her mind. It is about presence, not appearance. The second part is the charge. It introduces desire without spelling it out. It makes her wonder where your thoughts went. That curiosity creates tension, and tension creates attraction. You are not complimenting her to gain approval. You are stating an effect she had on you. That subtly shifts the power dynamic. Women feel that shift instantly. Here is another example. The way you sit there with that much composure is distracting. That comment suggests control, confidence, and quiet authority. You are responding with interest, not awe. You are not idolizing her, you are engaging her. Why does this work? It works because women are not drawn to men who only see the surface. They are drawn to men who notice layers. They see the physical, but also the energy and the way she occupies space. You are not describing her body like a teenager. You are recognizing her effect like a man. That kind of praise lands on both her skin and her thoughts. Here is another one. You are the kind of woman who knows exactly when to speak and when to stay silent. This one is powerful because you are noticing her restraint. You are seeing discipline, awareness, and control. That is a form of attraction most men never acknowledge. She will remember it because it is unexpected, and being unexpected is the goal. None of these words work if they are delivered like lines or tricks. The strength is not just in the wording. It is in the tone. It must be calm, grounded, and unrushed. It should feel like you are not searching for validation, but simply stating the truth. When a man speaks that way, he stops being a source of compliments and becomes an experience. She does not just hear him, she replays him. She is not chasing attention. She is chasing the feeling you gave her in that moment. Ask yourself this. Have you ever said something that made her breathing pause for half a second? It is like her body reacted before her mind could catch up. If you have, you know when words land in both places at once. If you have not, you are about to. What comes next touches something most men are too afraid to acknowledge. Most men only praise the easy parts. You are sweet. You are fun. You are so positive. These are safe, predictable, and forgettable words. What they do not realize is that women do not want to be seen as flawless. They want to be seen as real. Real women have edges and carry shadows. While everyone else praises her light, you notice the darkness she hides. You see the intensity she restrains and the side she has been told to soften. Instead of ignoring that edge, you name it. You show that you are not intimidated by it. Try this. There is something dangerous about you, and I am not sure if I should get closer or back away. You did not call her hot or nice. You acknowledged an edge and admitted you are drawn to it. That flips a switch. She spent years trying to be agreeable. Suddenly, someone sees the fire underneath and wants it. That is rare, and rarity is intoxicating. Or say this. You have the kind of energy that does not ask for room, it takes it. Think about what that signals. You are recognizing power behind her eyes. This is strength most men are too unsure to point out. When you do, you separate yourself instantly from every man chasing approval. You are not looking for a smile, you are responding to presence. Have you ever looked a woman in the eye and complimented the one thing she was afraid to reveal? It is the part she thought might be too much. That is the moment she remembers because you did not just see her. You accepted what others overlook. Once that happens, she does not forget you. I have said the dangerous thing myself because that is where everything shifts. That is the moment attraction stops being polite and starts becoming personal. That is when it stops feeling rehearsed and starts feeling real. In this next part, you will learn how to say something she has likely never heard before, but will immediately wish she had heard from you sooner. Every woman has something she secretly enjoys but rarely admits out loud. It is not the flowers or the predictable compliments. It is not about her eyes or being sweet. It goes deeper than that. It is personal and sometimes even feels forbidden. Most women carry desires they bury beneath good manners. They have desires for power, for surrender, and for being understood in ways they have been taught not to voice. That is where your words matter. While most men stay stuck praising the surface, you speak directly to what she will not openly say she wants. She cannot ignore it when it is offered. That is when her guard lowers. That is when attraction stops being logical and becomes chemical. Let me show you what that sounds like. Try this. You enjoy being in control, but I can tell part of you wants to let go. That is not just a line. That is perception. If you say it calmly, it can hit her like electricity. It names the inner tension she lives with. She may be assertive in her daily life, but what she often craves in connection is release. You just voiced what she does not allow herself to say. That is influence. Or try this. You act like you do not care about attention, but the way you present yourself says otherwise. When said correctly, this is not criticism. It is awareness. It is saying that you see the truth beneath the performance. That kind of recognition can become addictive. When you compliment the part of her she is afraid to admit she enjoys, you are telling her she is safe to be fully herself with you. You see the complete version, the complicated, driven, and conflicted version. That is rare. Most women are either placed on a pedestal or reduced to something shallow. Very few men can acknowledge the fire she keeps contained. Here is another example. You have this quiet hunger beneath all that composure. I would be lying if I said I was not curious about it. You are not saying she is too intense. You are saying she is alive in a way you are drawn to. The moment you say that, you have given her validation that feels honest. Understand this clearly. None of this works if you do not mean it. If you are acting the second it feels like manipulation, it collapses. But when it is grounded in truth, it stays with her. Attraction is not just about who you are, it is about how you see her. If you can recognize parts of her no one else notices, you stand apart. Have you ever said something to a woman that made her pause, like you had uncovered a thought she did not know you could see? If you have ever noticed that flicker. Like saying she is beautiful, but the compliments that actually land focus on the cause. Try this instead. You read people before they speak. I can tell you do it quietly, but it is sharp. You did not talk about her looks. You told her you understand how she moves through the world. Or try this. You act like you do not need attention, but you are completely aware of the energy you bring into a room. Now she feels understood. That feeling is powerful. Because it is rare, she develops defenses against common compliments. But when you slip past those defenses by saying you see who she actually is, something changes. You are no longer just another man. You are someone who notices what others ignore. That is what stays with her. Most men give approval hoping for something in return. But when you acknowledge what is unseen, you are offering presence and insight. That kind of recognition leaves an imprint. Try this. You look like you always have things under control, but I doubt your mind ever really slows down. That line shows emotional intelligence and attention to detail. It tells her you are listening to more than words. It is steady, and steady compliments echo later when she is alone. Every woman knows what it is like to be desired, but to be seen without performing hits differently. Lead with perception and awareness. Let her feel that you notice the version of her that exists beneath the usual praise. Then, when desire comes later, it feels real. Have you ever said something that made her stop smiling and look at you like you touched something genuine? That pause is where connection starts forming. The next kind of compliment makes her imagination start moving ahead of the moment. Women do not remember the safe man. They remember the man who made them feel something authentic. That happens when you say what no one else is willing to say. Most men try to be liked and agreeable. In doing so, they say nothing meaningful at all. They filter themselves until there is no presence left, and she feels that boredom. But the man who steps forward and says what she has never heard before lingers. Try this. I do not trust people who smile all the time. There is usually more beneath it. You did not attack her. You voiced a truth most people are too cautious to admit. Women do not crave endless praise. They crave truth that stings just enough to stay with them. Or try this. You seem like the kind of person who pushes others away before they can get too close. That is a man willing to name patterns instead of tiptoeing around them. Why does this work? It works because women are used to men hiding their opinions and strength behind compliments. When you speak without fear, she leans in. You did not say what she wanted to hear. You said what no one else would risk saying. Let me take it further. I am not concerned with whether you like me. I care about whether we are honest with each other. That sentence ends the performance. You have made it clear this is about connection without masks. Bold words only land when your presence is steady. If you say them to get a reaction, she will sense the insecurity. But if your energy is calm, that is when you become memorable. Most men try to earn attention, but you simply say what is true for you because you are done pretending. That honesty creates a feeling she won't forget. The bravest thing a man can do is speak the truth, especially when it is uncomfortable. Her beauty does not overwhelm you, and her approval is not the prize. You are the man who sees through the performance and speaks to the human underneath. So here is the real question. Have you ever said something so true she did not know whether to smile or walk away? When she stands there, caught between a smile and a quick exit, you have officially broken the mold. Most men would panic in that silence. They would try to take back what they said, or fill the space with a joke to make it comfortable again. But you don't. You stay right there in the tension because you aren't looking for her to tell you that you're right. You are simply observing the world as it is. This is where the final and most intense type of praise comes in. It is the praise of her shadows. Every woman has a side of herself she thinks is too much for people to handle, too ambitious, too direct, or too emotional. When you look at that part of her and speak to it with a calm smile, she stops seeing you as a stranger and starts seeing you as a mirror. You might say something like, "You have a very quiet way of showing people they don't matter to you." It's impressive. It sounds like a challenge, but what you're really saying is that you see her standards. You are showing her that you aren't afraid of her strength. That is the moment she stops performing. She realizes she doesn't have to be the perfect, nice girl around you because you've already seen the fire she tries to hide. When a man is brave enough to look at a woman's complexity and not blink, he becomes the only person in her life who actually knows her. That is the ultimate goal of influence. You aren't just a voice in the crowd anymore. You are the one who finally spoke the truth she's been waiting to hear.